There's this thing I want to talk to you at the break, and it's kind of like a last second pre-production thing, but it has to do with stealing tweets. How does that sound so far to you?
Oh, I'm all about it as a victim for the last 10 years of stolen tweets from NBA memes
Oh,
and other Twitter accounts.
you know what?
Oh, yeah, they stole. Yeah.
No, how about this? Okay, that was the one account. I know you've mentioned it on this podcast before, so that was the one account. I hope Mike, I know I was telling you to stay for segment 3. Let's just cut ahead, okay? Let's just cut ahead. This is the
Are we doing it now?
tweet that Mark Gonzalez actually posted. No, that wasn't the one that he posted, but this is what they said at 6:48. This is from NBA memes. Rajon Rondo left the Lakers, made 15 million, screwed the Clippers over, and had them trade Lou Williams and 2 second rounders, only to come back to the Lakers on a minimum salary. And it's Rondo playing Connect Four, right? That was at 6:48 yesterday. Here's what Mark said from Fiola yesterday. Oh, there you go. Rondo pulling up to his old Lakers spot after making 15 million with the Hawks while sabotaging the Clippers, being bought out by the Grizzlies, only to return to the Lake Show for 2.6 million and another chip. Mark, how does it feel to be another victim of NBA memes stealing your stuff?
At this one, I'm going to have to claim parallel thinking, as we say in the comedy world, because if someone wants to really count the steps, which I know a lot of people have, uh, you know, it's a no brainer. It just depends. It's not the song; it's the singer. So the way how I look at it, I just did they use the Soul Glow gift that I used?
No. They didn't use that. That would have been another thing. They used Rondo playing Connect Four, and then that was at 6:48. And then I want to say you. Well, I kind of retweeted you from what you put on Instagram. So I'm like, Mark and I share the same account for Fear LA. So I just practically grabbed and regurgitated everything you created on Instagram, threw it on Twitter, and that was around 4:38, right, Mike? I want to say it was around 4:38 p.m. 4:15 p.m. Sorry, that's what happened to go up on Twitter.
It's
That's
you know
2 hours.
as much as of course, I think these days it's the days of like, hey, that's stolen. Remember when the fat Jewish, I believe his Instagram handle was, or the fat model, whatever his
The
name
Fat
was,
Jew.
The Fat
was
Jew,
stealing
yeah.
tweets. Was that what it was? Like ever since those days, I feel like these days it's like it's kind of just, I don't know. Like, what can you do? You can't do anything. You can either yell at the sky or do something about it. But you know what? As the legendary comedian Doug Stanhope always says, I got a lot on the stove. So have at it, NBA memes. Even
Let,
though it's so funny, I didn't know that they actually did that.
well, that's another thing. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, dude, they love. I don't think they follow us, but I'm pretty sure somebody who does handle that account does follow us because this has been one too many times, right? I mean, like made a history of practically ripping off the stuff that you created since you've been the longtime orator of this account.
Yeah, and I've been blocked by them personally, so they know who I am. They know exactly who I am. So they probably have other people, or who knows what, looking at me. I mean, like I said, all I did was see the obvious, and maybe they did, and and it kind of everyone sees it at the same time, kind of thing. I don't know, but like I just, because I mean, to me it was just funny that I always look back. I go, from Rondo, like Rondo went through all these loops just to come on back, but he caused some damage on the way. It's almost, I always said every time like a player goes away, he comes back. They were just like this. I always played the Beastie Boys sabotage, either sound or the GIF of it, of going sabotage, because that's what Rondo did. He pretty much he ruined half the NBA only to come back on a vet minimum. How cool is that?
Well,
The
I will
Lakers.
say, okay, look, he made his money with the Hawks. The Hawks were like the Hawks did go a nice I would say deep into the playoffs. They went as far as a lot of
Yeah.
people thought they would. So that was like a successful season on their part, and it could be to the credit of Rondo's mentorship for the halfway he got there in the season. Then at the trade deadline, the Clippers were banking. The Clippers were banking. Any person that wants to listen to this and is still a Clippers fan, the Clippers were banking on Rondo off of his playoff magic. So when they tried grabbing him, it was like them trying to grab Tinkerbell in a glass and trying to conserve his magic for when the playoffs happen. And then where was he in the playoffs? Nowhere to be found. So I think honestly, when you are able to use Rondo right, like what the Lakers are probably going to do, then I think his true magic will come to form.
Yeah, and he had that Laker jersey under the Tinkerbell dress that he was wearing apparently. But but yeah, I mean, let's face it, the Clippers misused him. They go like what you just said, and and he's back. And the fact that he's back, it makes me happy because the two guys that left last season, that I was like, damn, like I hope I hope they don't like achieve greater things, without us. And luckily, knock on wood, that they didn't. But they came back, which was Dwight and Rondo. So
Yep.
I feel more confident this season, especially with Rondo back, because yeah, the dude's as much as Jared Dudley, I just like how this like goes back. Is because I mean he's pretty much took over Jared Dudley's spot, right?
Yeah, and like if anything, Rondo will actually be playing meaningful minutes, to whereas like Dudley was somebody that was just coming around cigar time. Like he was, if there was a blowout on either side, then he would normally get that playing time.
Yeah, now that, but I just find it funny how Dudley was like, I spoke to Rob and Kurt, and I respect their decision, but they're focusing on youth, and I think that's a bad idea, or whatever losers say when they're about to get canned or whatever. Because Rondo was just like, hey, I didn't burn any bridges, I wanted to come back, and apparently AD and LeBron were chiming in on him coming back, so. It just felt like it was. I mean, it was the right move, absolutely, especially at 2.6 mil. What we still like only for 1 year though, but that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Like with one year, like I feel bad for the players like Alex Caruso, where you can like try to hopefully get him for multi years, but at the same time, if he's getting multi-year offer in a place like Chicago for $4 million more, then I can't complain. They're gonna be great without it, or with. The Bulls are going to be great with him. The Lakers are still going to be great without him, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to miss him too, but hey, we got Rondo back, and
Rondo,
the fact
Dwight.
that the Clippers had to trade Lou, and what? But I like this part of the whole sabotaging. My favorite part is the fact that the Clippers traded Lou Williams, and who else did they trade?
No, just two second-round draft picks.
Okay, plus Lou, but the fact that they got rid of Lou for Rondo, and then Rondo said, "Peace out." That's great. I love it. Okay. I absolutely love it.
Look, okay, I was someone that worked with the Clippers radio network last year, okay? I feel as if I am very objective when it comes to the Clippers, and that move by them trading Rajon Rondo for Lou Williams, I didn't like it at the time. A lot of people wanted to say, well, it's because Lou Williams didn't play two ways. I think the best defense I saw him play was in the bubble when it was actually the playoff. When it was the playoffs, like that was some of the best defense that I saw Lou Williams play two-way. Now the Clipper fans want to act as if every player on their team can play two ways. What about Luke Kennard? What about the white guy that you spent 4 years, $64 million on? That guy doesn't play two ways. That guy's actually very insecure about his shot selection, and he also doesn't play defense. So what about Luke Kennard? What are you going to do with that problem?
Well, it's very on brand when you say the word insecure, because that's what a lot of almost say Laker fans. Well, them too sometimes. Clipper fans as well when it comes to trying to justify certain moves. Because I mean, I get it. They're trying to make the argument, but let's face it. You just said it yourself. Like he's it's like, did they upgrade? Did they really upgrade by signing Kennard for that much?
No, they kind of trapped themselves. And I honestly think the reason why they did a 4-year deal is because again they didn't know about Kawhi Leonard and what will happen with him, because everything's a question mark when it comes to Kawhi, and this is the guy that's the face of your franchise. So now that he did come back, a lot of his criticism this offseason was because of the fact that on day one, a lot of the moves have been happening this free agency, and he didn't sign until like what was it, day 3, day 4? So the Clippers were really basing their entire free agency off of, can Kawhi Leonard, who is going to be hurt this coming season, re-sign with the Clippers?
Is he going to be in a wheelchair when he takes the floor this year? Do you know?
No, but I do believe he's participating in the Paralympics that is still going on right now. He will be playing wheelchair basketball. So for Team USA.
He's going for the gold?
Yeah, he's going for the gold.
But did they bench him? Did they put the brakes on his wheelchair?
No. He just demanded more money. That's all. But I do think.
And a ramp.
Yeah, no. So, okay, like, I'm not like Mark, where Mark doesn't want to see the Clippers win no championships for as long as they do.
That's God's way. All right.
I agree with Mark's viewpoint.
But I'm the type of person where it's just
that's
like
God's voice.
First off, the fan base, a lot of the Clipper fans that want to say, "Oh God, you guys are attacking us all the time." It's just like, no, we're just making a joke. Take a joke. Okay, that's it. That's the only thing. As someone that likes Damian Lillard and wishes Damian Lillard was a Laker, that would be one thing. But at the same time, I just feel as if the Clippers need to do a massive rebranding, and probably has to do with relocating to another city.